Hey everybody, and welcome back to the next commentary video. Today we are going to be taking a look at Captain America, and this is a game that I actually ended up playing earlier tonight. This is my pretty much first game playing Captain America in a ranked setting, and I wanted to go ahead and show some of the things and thought process that I'm going over while I'm trying to play the game, and while I'm, just taking it for a spin, trying to figure out how I'm supposed to mesh into the team comp. And I had a lot of fun with this one. Just a reminder that as I hit GM later on in the season and then I keep climbing, once I hit GM, I will actually start to take people's replays that they send me and kind of go over them. I was originally going to wait a while before doing this, but there was a giant amount of people that were saying, hey, please review my stuff. So that's coming. And as for the people in the giveaway, I will actually be commenting and sending a message to those of you that won, the two people that won tomorrow. So the day that this video goes up, so the morning of the 19th, the two people will end up getting their message. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump in before I ramble anymore. Okay, starting off while we get started, our team comp's going to be on our team, the red team. We are running Strange, Captain America, Storm, Mantis, Rocket, and Cloak and Dagger. And on the blue team, it is Strange, Thor, Moon Knight, Namor, Loki, and Cloak. So, pretty even team comp. It's Namor's a pretty rough pick for Cap, but we're gonna see how it can go. Yeah, here at the start, they actually countered our portal. It was kind of an unfortunate turn of events, but I mean, it happens. And nevertheless, we end up making it work as best as we can. We take a second. We end up losing our Cloak and Dagger off the rip. Kind of a tough scene, but it happens to the best of us. Right here, what we're kind of doing is I like to play Captain America sort of like how you play Magic. As we can see, I'm not exactly going for anything too crazy, but I'm trying to poke a little bit, see if I can get a little bit of an angle. This guy walks forward, and I kind of revert back. I really like on Cap to kind of wait until I get my stacks of the ranged attack before I start going and trying to look for a dive on the other people. But I kind of like to go about it with the same mindset as I do Magic, because I feel like both of the characters kind of want the same thing at the end of the day. Captain America obviously has the trade-off of losing the damage in favor of more HP and survivability, which is definitely really nice. Here, it's kind of an interesting angle. If we go ahead and back up a little bit, right here I take a run backward, and then I kind of stop and I assess what's going on. It looked like Thor was about to run over and dash in, which he does. He comes and he meets me over here. I end up running back into my team to make sure. And while he's in Thor Force, I know that he's not going to be able to reverse dive quite yet. And then I tried to dive in to see what I can get and disrupt. It works out a little bit. Our Strange ends up getting a kill. And as you can see, we're just back on the dive. We get our stacks up, and then we're good to go. Huge kill on the Loki. He actually ends up walking out of the bubble of the Cloak and Dagger. And right here, we're just brawling and making sure that everything goes well. Super duper nice to make sure that you are getting your stacks. For every 2 hits, you end up getting a ranged attack on the shield. And now this is something that I really like doing on Cap. You are really good at getting in and using your slam and just leaving anytime you want to, if you want to use your dash out of the room, which is super duper nice. As always, as you can see, we are super duper safe, and that coupled with the fact that you have the solo shield is really nice. Right up here, what we're doing is we kind of know that they're going to be setting up because they do have a Hela. We saw her in the room whenever we dove just a second ago. So there's no way that she's not going to be setting up here because they were playing the Namor and they wanted to set up earlier. Right here, it's really important that we kind of get rid of the key, pillar. And I would consider pillars to be things that are holding an area of cover. So these people are protected a little bit by getting super duper pushed because of this Hela. We take her out and she's just sitting here behind the other 2 tanks as well. So then our tanks can actually walk forward a little bit instead of having to worry about the squishies dying, so they can actually alleviate some of the pressure from that. This is the biggest thing here. We're playing with one other tank, so we are really beefy. So it's super good for us to go over here and just try to get her out of the way. And it actually ends up working out for the better. She ends up dying, and we can just go in on the Loki. We do have the Cap ult, so we're in almost no danger here. Make sure we kill the rune from the Loki. So they do have the Cloak and Dagger ult, so we're kind of just sitting up here waiting to see what we can see. They grab the Storm ult, so we go and end up trying to just walk into their backline a little bit and disrupt so not all 6 people push through. Strange ults. Doesn't really get a whole lot from it. We end up getting a really lucky pick on the Strange, and right here, diving this guy is really, really good for us because while we didn't know that the Strange was going to be ulting, even if he turns, we do have the shield that will reflect the bullets back onto the turret. And with all that, we actually end up taking this room. Now, I want to, before we get started with the next part, I want everybody to kind of take a guess as to what we're going to try and do here, based on like the utility that we have. We have our dash up. We are coming up on our slam, and we are coming up on the shield toss. So we actually have almost all of our cooldowns ready. And we really, really, really want to get as much distance as we can so we can make this push go. And we have some people that, or they have people that are dead that are coming off spawn soon. Right here, it's super duper good with the Cap ult, because as a lot of you know, Cap ult is really, really hard to kill whenever he's in it. He moves incredibly fast. He has a lot of health. He gets a lot of bonus HP every second that he's in it, and it lasts for a really, really good amount of time. Right here, it's within my best interest, in my opinion, which I do, to kind of disrupt and make sure that they are threatened and they do not just want to run forward and, well, push onto the cart. By doing this, the Strange can't portal. It's a really, really big pressure situation. And now, although we didn't get any kills, we just got the other half of the point pretty much for free, and they couldn't do anything about it. Quite literally nothing. They just sat there. Their only option is to walk past, but at that point I'm taking a healer with me, whether I die or live or, you know, they stay. If they don't all focus me right there, I take 1, maybe 2 squishies for sure, because I'm an ult and they cannot kill me unless all of them focus me, which is really, really good. We end up getting a lot of space for it. Stacking our thing off of the Loki, getting our passive for the shield throw, backing up, making sure that we're not committing to any play. It's a much bigger benefit to be a thorn in the side. Captain America's damage set isn't going to be huge at the end of the game, we all know that, but what Captain gets a lot of value out of is that you do have to look at him if he dives, because he does do decent enough damage that he's going to kill the squishies if they 1v1. We end up diving the Loki, getting the extra kill, and we're just going to take a little bit of an A-train out of here. Right here, their Thor ended up holding, but we took so much aggro. If we can go ahead and just back up and watch this really quick. Look at how many people are coming back and chasing. That's Strange and Storm, and Thor is ulting solo. This is a 1v5, pretty much. Yeah, 1v5. And I have the two people that can never kill me in this situation based on how much HP I have in my cooldowns. This is huge. We're just making sure we're pulling aggro, and then we're dipping out on the side and making sure we have an exit strategy plan. We never intend to kill anybody in the situation on the Storm and the Strange. We just want to take their aggression. And because of that, the Thor ends up dying. We get a free dive on the Strange while our team deals with the Storm ult. And we are able to dash out. Really solid. Not bad at all. Same thing, and then we just rinse and repeat. It's super important that we only do this whenever we are cycling our cooldowns. As you can see, we're waiting for contact to be made. And then, again, we dive, start trying to take some aggro off of the person. And actually, the Punisher takes a second to look at me, which is really good for our support that was ulting at the same time. Saving the slam because we know that we don't really need it for that situation. Never really a kill at the moment. Super duper good shield. Captain America can actually block stun with his shield. Things like Eye of Agamotto, he cannot be stunned by if he's looking at it. Right here, we're just harassing the Strange, making sure that he backs up. Really, really good at pushing past the shield because you have the sprint, which is much faster than he is. Walking past the Strange, kind of just trying to harass the support. Right here, again, this is a situation of it's super duper good for us to just take aggro and make sure that they're not pushing our team. Again, we have the ult, and so right here what we do is we just take up as much time as we can. We soak that shit, and then we are fine. And while we aren't killing anybody, we missed like every shield throw, we get a lot of value out of it because we are unkillable in that situation, and if left unchecked, we can do a lot of damage to support characters. Captain America's really, really good at dueling. Super duper good first round to close it off. Taking just a little bit of a look at the stats, while they don't always matter, they can kind of be an okay indication of what's going on. So here we are, 7.5k damage. Pretty serviceable for being Captain America. We're keeping in line with our other tank and their 2 tanks, so it's not bad at all. and we are currently 13-0. So we're not dying, and we're keeping ourselves up, and we are helping our team where we are needed, and then we are making sure that we're harassing their supports so that way our team can kind of just move in and take space as much as they want. Fighting over these key positions is really, really important. We'll go ahead and speed up and go to the next part. Here at the start of the round, kind of the intention behind standing up here is if they wrap behind us, this is like going all the way around up into this top shelf on our top right up here. We actually have an angle because of our jump and our speed that we can just straight up give up this area, this piece of land, and then we can just straight move back and help wherever we're needed if they portal. So this is not a bad angle at all. Captain America doesn't really want to be beelining at anybody because the shield will break. It's more of a deterrent and way of just blocking a few cooldowns and reflecting damage while you're waiting on your cooldowns to reset. So this is a really, really good place. And then if they push past us, we can obviously go and dive from an off angle onto the supports and harass yet again. So here at the start, we thought they might portal, but they actually end up not portaling. So right up here is a really, really good spot. We can still go left if we need to, and we see a bunch of people moving that way. We see Hulk dive past, so we go in and just start harassing the supports. Obviously, we're not going to get a kill out of it, so we dive back to try and help our team if they need it. Nothing ends up coming of it. Not too bad. Hulk walks up, and we end up getting our stacks and just throwing our shield out. Again, we're kind of playing like Magic here, getting our stacks of the shield and just kind of throwing things out, seeing until somebody is ready to be dove. Right here, Loki uses his lamp. Well, we dove while the lamp was going on. It's still not a bad idea to kind of harass this guy so the rest of the team turns around on us. They don't respect me at all, so they end up losing a healer because the rest of their team didn't turn. We end up starting to brawl with the Hulk a little bit, help our Strange out. Dive on the Squirrel Girl. Not bad at all. Kind of the same business, brawling with the Hulk. So we see that there's two ults going on right over here, so I was looking for a support maybe coming back of spawn. We dip off into this room. Building our stacks to make sure that we're ready to go in. Okay. Support ult is up. Now we're going back and doing it again, just harassing their support. He ends up transforming into Storm, which is unlucky for us, but we did force the ult in the end. Yet again, not in a whole lot of danger because we do have the ult. It's a really, really, really good scapegoat card that we can just use to leave a situation if we need to. While we aren't killing a lot of people here, we are doing our job and pressuring as much as possible. That is the big meat and potatoes of what we want to be doing with this kit. Really big Strange ult. Captain America's really good at that as well, helping kind of get rid of a lot of the pressure off of the other tanks. That way maybe he can get a giant ult, or another character like Hela can get an ult, etc. I don't know why Loki ends up teleporting back. He ends up taking an L here. Kind of the same thing. I think that while we're on the topic, I think that the Captain America buffs were incredibly good for this character, and I think that Captain America is an okay spot. Maybe a little bit of extra damage could help him, but I think that right now he doesn't need that many changes, all things considered. I think the speed boost and extra HP that he got for survivability definitely did wonders for him, for sure. Feels a lot better to play right now on higher elo. Okay, they're kind of playing forward a little bit here. We see the Loki. We go ahead and take our chance to kind of pressure him off. The Hulk is looking at us a lot more than their team. We come back around, come back up to this key position yet again, get ready for a dive. We hop back out. And now we're pushing with the Storm ult. Adam Warlock falls. And yet again, kind of just going and seeing if we can get a pick on the Cloak and Dagger. Okay. Getting our stacks on the Hulk and just giving a little bit of pressure. And now we start to run back. Coming back around so we can kind of go ahead and dive yet again once we are ready. They swapped to Namor, which is kind of worse for us. The 3 support was really, really nice for Cap because he's really good at disrupting, but it wasn't working for them in the long run. I actually think we fall here, right? Nope. Seems to be okay. Now we run back over to our tank. Storm ends up ulting, and we take this moment to go ahead and dive this Cloak and Dagger. Really important to prioritize which targets are which. You want to make sure that you're only ever trying to dive and kill the people that you know you were able to. Popping ult here is pretty good because we know we're unkillable, and now we can just kind of the same thing, take aggro of a few people, and kind of shift our weight around. We're right behind the Atom. Sucks that the Strange loses his ult here, but we're now an Amplifier. Okay, not bad. We're going ahead and just trying to dump as much as we can. Now at this point we're just stalling. We ended up losing a lot of people. Yeah, so we ended up losing some people. Not too bad. We're on the way back. They actually end up capping the cart, which is okay. We held for a very, very long time. They're only at 2 minutes and 18 seconds as of right now, which is way less time than we ever had for our push. Kind of going back up here, we can talk about this yet again. Again, this is a really key position. Fighting over space is a really, really big thing, especially on this map because of these high points. Keeping this part of the map is super duper important for defense and offense, because if you take it on offense, you can immediately start looking downward over here on our bottom left. If you take it on defense, then we can immediately start looking to where the card is pushing from. This is super duper important because there's 2 spots that we can look at, and the ways of getting up here are fairly obvious, all things considered, because you only really have this way of going on the right and literally forward. Getting around to the left is a possibility, but typically your team is playing in this lane right here, so we can pretty much assume that they're going to come from the right if they are at all. But currently our Sorb is brawling over here on the left side. She ends up falling, and we're kind of just backing up. We have to let them get a little bit of space here because we are down a teammate. Hulk takes up here. We start pressuring him a little bit. Obviously, it's a losing spot for us. We're the only person up there, and as Cap, we don't have the guns to kind of back up a 1v2. Missed the shield toss. And we actually ended up getting hit by the Hulk mid-jump. That's what that knockdown was, which is really unlucky for us. Storm pops an ult. Okay, and right here, kind of the same dance. We're really interested in trying to just pressure the backline and make sure that our team can go in as much as they possibly can. Okay, right here, the Adam Warlock is free, so we go ahead and try to help pressure him. This high ground yet again, taking the key position as we see fit. We'll go ahead and back up. Adam Warlock falls, and as we can see, while we're just sitting here watching, nobody is pressuring these people up top, so they're kind of just able to shoot at our team for free. The only person that can ever deal with them in a situation like this for the most part is Storm. Namor is probably going to be behind us. He doesn't really have a way of getting up there and dealing a lot of damage, especially whenever there are 2 of them. Storm is the only person. So what is our job in this situation as Captain America? Really, really important that we kind of see. I know that Hulk is on top of me, and I know that there's no shot in hell that he's able to kill me, but these guys up here can. So we need to get rid of the immediate threat as much as we can. Killing them isn't the objective here. That's not our prerogative. The thing that we really want to do is shove them off of this key point and put them back down on this lane, and then we come back to our team and regroup. This is a way worse power play. They can see way less of our point. Much more important that we go up here and we kind of just take out these 2 guys up here. And now, so what do? We shove the Namor off. We dive him. We do have ult, so this is a winnable situation. And because we are in ult, we actually pick up the kill. We can pressure the Cloak and Dagger. And what do we get out of her because we're pressuring in this way? We force the ult. Really big cooldown here. She's only going to be able to give 1 spot of the ult. And as you can see, it's on the very end of the cart. Strange hits a very, very big ult, and we get exiled. Nevertheless, not bad. Walking at the Cloak and Dagger, just trying to pick up some more damage to build ult as fast as we can, just in case we go past this area. Okay. Diving the Namor, securing the kill. And now we run back to the team, making sure that we aren't going too far. We can't do those big hero plays whenever we don't have the ult, because we can't really pressure without it. But that was a really, really good second use of the ult, making sure that we take a lot of space and waste a lot of time. Right here, we're kind of just looking for the support to be alone. In my opinion, if I'm being totally honest, I think this is a terrible spot for me. I think I was just kind of sitting here thinking, oh man, I'm doing pretty well this game. I would love to go and just run them down a little bit more. This is probably the worst situation I could be in. When am I ever going to get a kill out of the 2 supports and the Namor being here? I'm in more danger than I am, than they are, obviously. Especially with their Squirrel Girl not being that far away. So, we end up diving. We pressure the Atom quite a bit. He soul links, and because of that, we end up taking the L. Really, really bad. Super duper important that in these situations, whenever you die, you go, how did I die and what can I do better to not be in that spot? If I would have taken that key space on the top part of the map rather than going behind them, we actually probably don't give them this much space and our team does not die as much because we still have me up for this next fight. We end up diving in here, kind of just get a last minute touch, see if we can make something happen. We do have a support coming up on the way, but we're coming out of spawn. I end up perishing, but they end up running back. Not too bad. Now, it kind of does suck a little bit, though. Our Strange did trickle, and he ended up dying, so we just kind of have to forfeit a lot of this space. Captain America is not very good at just being the only tank up on the board, which is a really, really big problem in this situation, especially when they have heavy hitters such as Squirrel Girl and Namor and Storm. There's not a world in hell where I'm able to actually play like a proper tank and just hold frontline here without Strange, because we really want to play, again, like Magic, sitting behind him and just pressuring whenever we're not diving. Here we are, we get a little bit of an opening, and we start diving the Adam Warlock a little bit. We have ult on the way, so we're trying to play for it really heavy. Running around the tree to make sure that we can get a little bit of HP. Building our stacks. Stacks are up, we're ready to dive. And now we have Captain America ult, and we are pretty much in an unkillable spot for a second. Okay, we pop this assemble, and we start running them down, making a lot of space and just taking up a lot of time. We still have 20 seconds on the clock here. We end up dying, which is really, really tragic. Definitely could have been in a much better spot. And our Strange ends up getting a 3-man, and our Punisher picks up 2. And with that, I do believe the game just ends. Not bad at all. Definitely a really, really, really nice showing. I'm super duper pleased with how this game turned out. This was our, I do believe, second match of playing Captain America in Ranked. I've had, I think in the last video, actually, I showed like a little brief moment where I like played him, but that was a little bit of, I played like a couple quick plays and was trying to give him a shot. But this is my actual first time going and, well, figuring out what exactly to do. We'll go ahead and back up a little bit just to kind of get an end game stats marker. Okay. We go ahead and take a look. While stats at the end of the day don't necessarily matter in the entirety of the... That's so annoying. Why did it do that? Okay. Anyway, while stats at the end of the day don't always typically matter in the long run, they do kind of give a good indicator of what you may or may not be doing well. Really, really recommend people don't harp on their stats because you can lose games super easily even if you have high kills. Anyway, overall though, keeping our deaths low is a really, really good sign. Keeping it at 4 is definitely not bad at all. It's less than the average of the match. Definitely great. Meaning that the 2 times that we died, one of them was for a kind of a Hail Mary play at the last second just to make sure that they would stay in overtime and maybe we could get something out of it. And one of them was for sure a play where we were just kind of out of line. And then another one here at the very end of the match, another time where we were just out of line and we overstayed. Overall, I'm super duper pleased. We got a lot of value out of our ults. We got a lot of value out of diving, a lot of value out of our teamfight brawling, and a lot of time out of wasting their time. Very, very huge. Without further ado, with all that being said, I hope that you guys got something out of this video, and I know that I did. I really, really like Captain America. Other than Magic, he may be my favorite character in the game right now. Definitely going to be playing a lot more of him. Definitely going to be uploading more of this character. Absolute lovely. Love you guys so much, and I'll see you soon. Later, and bye.